Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again with another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. Also, I went down to a Closing Down Blockbuster today. I hoarded up like crazy, so I'm also going to talk about all the stuff I got at Blockbuster today. But guys, let's get started with it. I got a nice sized stack of stuff of movies to talk about today. And first off here from Shout Factory is Cat People here, the collector's edition here on Blu-ray, starring Nastassja Kinski and Malcolm McDowell. This is the 1982 classic. This is also a remake from the 1942 Cat People movie. But in this film, Nastassja Kinski and Malcolm McDowell play brother and sister that were estranged for all these years because, you know, when they were younger, their parents were animal trainers and they got killed mysteriously. And in this film, it's Nastassja Kinski's character is reuniting with her brother after all these years. And come to find out, there's this really weird secret about the family. As soon as she reunites with her brother starts acting really strange, like, you know, perching up on her bed, looking at her when she's sleeping, and she doesn't really know, you know, that he's doing that until the day or so after they reunite with each other. Her brother, Malcolm McDowell's character, ends up disappearing, but at the same time there's this weird black leopard that's been terrorizing this little hotel, and it's a really fun erotic thriller kind of film. I remember watching this one when I was a young kid, like on VHS, when I went to the local video store to rent it. My parents didn't really know what it was. They thought it was just some dumb little horror film, yet did they know there was going to be nudity and stuff in there too. So when I was as a kid going, whoa, you know, like seeing nudity for the first time, even though I believe Police Academy was the very first movie I ever saw nudity in, you know. But on this Blu-ray here, you get like interviews with pretty much almost everybody that's in the movie. Nastassja Kinski, Malcolm McDowell, John Hurd, who you guys all know that played Mr. McAllister in Home Alone. In here, he's one of the stars in here. John Larroquette is also in this film. I totally forgot that he was in there. He's only in it for like 2 seconds, but he was in the film. But guys, the transfer of this Blu-ray here looks very nice. But also on this Blu-ray here, you get a theatrical trailer and still galleries, you know, of the film on here. But pretty much the special features are like interviews with John Hurd and the cast members and the director of the film. But if you guys are a fan of Cat People, definitely pick up Cat People here on Blu-ray. You won't be disappointed in the PQ. I would have to give it like a 9.5 out of 10, you know? Alright guys, next up is Die Monster Die here on Blu-ray, starring Nick Adams and Boris Karloff. In this film, Nick Adams plays a young man going to go visit his fiancée at his fiancée's family's house. And when he's going to travel there, he gets to the small town. He's asking people for advice of how to get to the place, and could you give me a ride there? Could you show me how to get there? And no one in town wants to help him out. Everyone in town thinks that place is cursed or haunted, so Nick Adams has to walk to his fiance's house that's out in the middle of nowhere. And once he gets there, he comes to find out that his fiance's mother is all crazy, always locked away in a room, always in a dark space, and his fiance's father is completely sort of out of his mind, kind of a creepy dude, and he's played by Boris Karloff. And you come to find out there's like a deep family secret that's going on in this family, and it's pretty much Nick Adams trying to get his fiancée up out of that house so, you know, he can live his life with her. But yet his fiancée is caught in between him and her family, and it's, you know, she's trying to figure out what she wants to do, go with him or stay with the family. I found this movie to be really kind of entertaining. You know, it was made in 1965, I believe. Boris Karloff gives a really great performance in this film. I believe this movie came out towards the end of his career, because in this film he's always in a wheelchair, and I'm not sure if in around that time if he really was in a wheelchair or not, but he didn't really look like he was getting around too well. And but he turns in a really good performance in this, playing the, you know, the creepy father. And I totally recommend this movie, especially for the ending of this film, when you find out what's really going on with the family and why everyone in town doesn't want to go to that house, you know. It's a definitely cool little monster movie flick. You guys all know Boris Karloff from the Universal Monsters movies back in the day. But I totally recommend this movie. There's not really any special features on here. I believe there's just like a trailer and stuff, but definitely recommend it if you guys are into Boris Karloff movies and stuff. Definitely check it out. Alright guys, next up is The Horror Show here on Blu-ray, starring Lance Henriksen, and you guys all know him from the Alien films. And in this film, he plays a police officer that captured a serial killer by the name of Max Janke, a guy that committed all these murders using a meat cleaver. And he's at the beginning of this film, he's going to Max Jenke's execution, and during the execution of Max Jenke, you know, they sit him down to the electric chair, they bust him with juice, but yet he doesn't quite die right away. He stands up and looks straight at the guy that, you know, put him in jail and says, "I'm gonna get you," and that kind of thing, and then he dies. But then the soul of the serial killer goes and haunts the house of Lance Henriksen and his family, and it's pretty much them trying to figure out what's going on in this house. But Lance Henriksen knows who's in his house and who's haunting him and who's giving him all these problems. I found this movie to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. This is also known as House 3, if you guys are familiar with the House films. I've been a big fan of the House movies ever since like Anchor Bay put them out back in the day. You know, House 1, House 2, and then back in the day I only had House 1 and 2, and then I found out there was a House 4. Okay, but then for the longest time I'm like, there's a House 1, 2, and 4. Where's number 3? You know what I mean? I never knew that the horror show was considered House 3. And it was just kind of cool to watch this. It's also produced by Sean S. Cunningham, the guy that produced the, you know, the Friday the 13th franchise, or most of it, I believe. And also one of the stuntmen in this film is Kane Hodder, who you guys all know, that played, you know, Jason from like in the last half of the Friday the 13th franchise, the best and only Jason in my opinion. But this film was just an absolute blast to watch. It doesn't have the same vibe as the other House movies, you know what I mean? I don't even know, is number 4 even on DVD or Blu-ray? Please let me know in the comments down below, because this is like an old RCA Columbia home entertainment release, but it also says New Line Cinema on it. But I always love this movie. I'm keeping it because I don't have a DVD of it, you know what I mean? But definitely check out the horror show if you guys have never seen it before. Highly, highly recommend it. But also on this Blu-ray here, you get interviews with Kane Hodder talking about his experience being a stuntman on the film, theatrical trailer. It's just a whole hell of a lot of fun. I like this movie. Totally recommend it if you guys like the House films. Alright guys, next up from Paramount is A.C.O.D. here on Blu-ray, starring Jessica Alba, Clark Duke, and Jane Lynch. A.C.O.D. also stands for Adult Children of Divorce, and in this film is about this young man named Carter. His brother's about to get married, his younger brother's about to get married, and he's trying to get his divorced parents to come to the wedding, because when they were younger, their parents, you know, divorced each other and split up, and they just can't stand the sight of one another. You know, it's like one of those things, they just really just hate one another. And in this movie, it's Carter's mission to try to get them to come to his wedding, and all the craziness that ensues from there. It was a decent comedy film. It wasn't one of those ones that blew me away or anything like that. But Jane Lynch is the one that stole the show in this movie. She's always really cool in pretty much everything she does. And in this film, she plays a book author that's writing a book about people that are dealing with divorce and families and stuff like that. And she's just really funny in this movie. But also, this movie is just pretty much one of those ones that I can recommend you guys go out there and rent. It's worth watching, but I don't know if you need to rush out there and buy it. You know what I mean? It was enjoyable. It was just one of those ones that was just kind of like a, you know, just a piece of fluff. Nothing that is going to win any awards or anything, you know. Give it a chance if you see it out there at Redbox or something. Alright guys, next up from 20th Century Fox is Runner here on Blu-ray, starring Justin Timberlake and Ben Affleck. In this film, Justin Timberlake plays a college student going to Princeton, and he owes all this money in tuition. He's trying to figure out how he's going to pay all this money that he owes. So he ends up going to online gambling to put his money in the pot and see if he can win. He puts his money in there. He gets ripped off. Every single cent that he has gets taken away from online gambling. So he decides to fly to Costa Rica to find the person that owns the website that supposedly ripped him off to try to get his money back. And in the meantime, when he goes to Costa Rica, he finds out that Ben Affleck's the guy that runs the website, and he tries to get his money back from Ben Affleck. But in the meantime, Ben Affleck offers him a job to work for him. So it's one of those things, is he going to work for Ben Affleck, or is he going to, just like, take the money and go back home, you know what I mean? I thought it was a fun crime thriller film. Ben Affleck turns in a good performance in this thing. I always liked Ben Affleck. I know a lot of people are, up in arms about him playing Batman. I'm just gonna wait and see how he does as Batman, the character. But Justin Timberlake really does surprise me a lot in these films lately. Social Network, In Time. I think he's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I think he transitioned very well from being a singer into movies and stuff. But guys, check out Runner Runner if you guys are into like crime thrillers, movies that have to do with money and high stakes gambling and stuff like that. I thought it was a hell of a fun movie. Alright guys, next up from Universal is Vin Diesel and Riddick. This is the 4th film in the franchise, or the 3rd. I'm not sure if you want to count that cartoon movie that came out after Chronicles of Riddick, I believe, which I could never really get into. Like, I got that cartoon one, I'm like, eh. But Pitch Black, the very first one in this franchise, is probably one of my like top 5 favorite science fiction movies of all time. Alright guys, and in this film, Riddick is left for dead on this weird planet, and he's just on the planet trying to survive off the land, trying to figure out how he's gonna, get by with all these weird creatures and, really weird, crazy dog people after him. But yet, when he's there, there's these bounty hunters that are out trying to find him to get the bounty for Riddick, and it's pretty much him trying to, stay alive. It was actually kind of a fun flick. It wasn't the best in the franchise, but it also wasn't the worst. You know what I mean? Like, that cartoon one is, I don't know. But Chronicles of Riddick was okay, but it wasn't the greatest. I would say Pitch Black and this one are the top 2 of the franchise for me. Of course, Vin Diesel is the one that makes these movies cool, you know what I mean? But, of course, he still has those shiny eyeballs so he can see in the dark a lot better. But on this Blu-ray here, you get a making of, you get the unrated director's cut and the theatrical version on here, which the director's cut is about like 7-8 minutes longer than the theatrical. I found it to be fun. Like, the first 20 minutes of the movie is a lot cooler than the last half of the film. Like the beginning part is pretty much Riddick by himself. There's like not much of dialogue at all. It's just pretty much him trying to survive off the land. And I wish they had a lot more of that in this film. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, that's Riddick here on Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack here. If you're a fan of the Pitch Black franchise or the Riddick franchise, definitely check this one out. It's not the best one, but it's definitely not the worst, and I would totally give it a shot, guys. Next up over here from Sony is Insidious Chapter 2 here on Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack here. In this one, Insidious 2 picks up right where Insidious left off, where the father saved his son, came out of the other world or whatever it is, and now the spirit is in him, and he's kind of possessed by the demon, and his family's trying to figure out why is he going crazy, and they're just trying to figure out all the problems with that. I found it to be a worthy sequel. It's one of those ones that you're watching it going, eh. But then towards like the last third of the movie, or the last half of the movie, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool because they wrap it up really nicely and stuff, And of course you get Lin Shaye back in there, playing her character that she had in the first one. This one was a decent horror film, you know what I mean? It wasn't great, but it was also one of those ones that really stood out to me because there was like little nods like Sleepaway Camp in here. If you guys seen this one with the lady in white, that's like yelling at her kid in the other world, or the further actually. That's what it's called, the other world. What am I talking about? But that little sequence, if you guys seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of like Angela and stuff from Sleepaway Camp. But that's Insidious Chapter 2 here on Blu-ray. Definitely check this one out, guys, if you guys are horror fans. I'm sure you guys already have, but I liked it. Alright guys, next up is from Epic Pictures is a Big Ass Spider here on Blu-ray. This film is pretty much about the big alien spider that escapes a military lab and goes rampant on the city of Los Angeles. And the only people that are there to save the day is this exterminator played by, what's his name again? Craig Goldberg. I believe he was from the TV show Heroes. And this Latino, what's it called, security guard to save the day. And while the military people are trying to tell him what to do, he's like, no, this is the way you're supposed to kill a spider. You know what I mean? And it's just a fun ride because every couple hours that they don't kill that spider, the spider gets even bigger and bigger. And I found this to be a really fun, like, B science fiction flick. You get like little cameos in there by Lin Shaye and Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman has like the funniest little cameo that I've seen in this. He's like walking down the park all funny like, you know, and then the spider comes. It was actually kind of fun, you know what I mean? If you guys like, you know, like B-monster kind of movies, also on this Blu-ray here, you get some interviews with the cast and crew, international trailer, TV spots, and South by Southwest featurette where like they talk to the fans that are waiting in line to see the movie at the film festival and stuff like that. Actually a kind of really cool, fun movie. Definitely highly recommend this one, guys. Big ass spider here on Blu-ray. Alright guys, next up from Anchor Bay is Freezer here on Blu-ray, starring Dylan McDermott and Peter Facinelli. I haven't seen Peter Facinelli in a movie in a long time. I just wanted to see what he was doing, so that's why I wanted to, you know, grab this one to talk about it. But in this film, Dylan McDermott wakes up in a freezer, a walk-in freezer at the beginning of this film, all tied up and gagged, and these mob people keep coming in, asking him, "Where's the money? Where's this money that you took from us?" And he's like, "What money? What are you talking about?" His movie pretty much takes place in this freezer the whole movie, and these mob people coming in and out of there torturing him. It had a really strong opening, and but then like 20 minutes into the movie, it kind of just fizzled out for me, you know what I mean? It didn't really hold my interest. But I really do love movies that take place in one location, you know what I mean? And this one was just, you know, stuck in a walk-in freezer. It was kind of a cool concept, but it just really didn't, you know, go anywhere for me, you know what I mean? It looked very good on Blu-ray, very well acted, but it just, the script and the direction was just kind of like, you know, like all over the place for me in this thing. It wasn't amazing, but if you guys have like a Redbox near you, I definitely recommend a rental on it. But that's Freezer here on Blu-ray. It was alright. Next up over here from Millennium is Run here on Blu-ray. In this film is about a father and son that always travel from town to town. The father's kind of disabled, and the son's like a teenager. He's going to high school and things, and he's moving from city to city. He never has enough time to make any friends because his father used to work for the mob or something, and now to make ends meet, he sends his son out to go out and commit robberies, to, you know, like steal jewelry and stuff to make ends meet, until they move into New York or Brooklyn or whatever, where they shouldn't have been in the first place, because that's where the people that have been looking for them are still at. And then they move there, and of course all this trouble ensues them. You know, all the mob people that know that they're in town again and trying to capture them and kill them. It was alright, but the fun part of this film is pretty much the kid making friends with these other kids at the new school in Brooklyn, and how they live their life, the parkour life, which is like living their life, you know, like running around, like jumping over things, and like, you know what I mean, like living their life to the fullest and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you know how Jackie Chan was in like Rumble in the Bronx, like jumping from building to building and like, you know, like flipping over things. I don't really know how to explain parkour very well, because I'm a big guy. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to like flippity dippity over something. But there's not really much going on in this movie. But it was just kind of cool to see the young kids and the chemistry between the kids and them having fun, you know, like jumping around buildings like they're spiders and things, you know what I mean? But it's also the 3D Blu-ray and regular Blu-ray all on one disc. And the picture quality on this is fantastic. But if you guys want to see like a fun movie with kids jumping around, like flipping over things, definitely check it out. But the story was just kind of on the weak side for me a little bit, you know what I mean? But that's the movie Run here on Blu-ray. And that is Rewind This here on DVD, the documentary about the, you know, the VHS format and beta format and the beta Max and VHS wars, and how a lot of people now are getting really back into VHS collecting, and how people go to VHS swap meets like I did with Jose a couple months back. This documentary is really cool, especially for a lot of you guys out there that watch my videos here. You know, if you guys want to know more about the format war back in the day, and how some people are still surviving selling VHS tapes now. And there's just a lot of cool people that have a lot of cool like interviews with random other nerds talking about, you know, their VHS collections and things like that, and talking about like, you know, how the physical format might not be around much longer, you know, like all that kind of cool stuff that we talk about in these videos, you know. But if you guys are definitely into like, you know, movie collecting like I am here, definitely Rewind This here on DVD. This is probably the first DVD in a long time that I actually watched all the special features for, you know what I mean? There's like a bunch of stuff, like deleted scenes of people talking about like the, you know, physical versus digital formats, and, you know, just a whole bunch of really cool behind the scenes stuff on here, which I know all of you guys will love. But definitely guys, Rewind This on DVD. You won't be disappointed. I believe Amazon has an exclusive where you can get the DVD and the VHS combo pack for, I forgot, like 30 bucks or something. But rewind this on DVD, guys. You guys won't be disappointed. Alright guys, next up from Image is Voodoo Possession here on DVD, starring Danny Trejo. In this film, there's this guy that works at an insane asylum in Haiti, I believe, and he goes missing. His brother finds out, and his brother goes down to the Haitian insane asylum to find out what happened to his brother. But come to find out, all this voodoo is involved, and he's trying to find a way to get his brother back, you know, by trying to use voodoo ways to try to get his brother back. And you have to watch this movie to find out, because these brothers have a dark past, you know, with their stepfather and mother. At the beginning of this film, you see their mother kill herself, but you know, looks like she might be being taken over by a demon, or you know, a demon's making her do it. This movie was just okay. It kind of fell flat for me. It was just okay to me. It wasn't amazing, but if you guys are into voodoo and possession, give it a rental, you know? Alright guys, next up is Casting Me here on DVD. This movie is very much in the same vein as Clerks, you know, shot in the black and white, and kind of has that kind of like, you know, vibe to it. And even the opening shot of this film has a shot of, you know, Jay and Silent Bob toys, you know what I mean? It's pretty much about this one guy named Paul. He's kind of like a struggling guy trying to figure out what he's trying to do with his life. He's a casting director, and he also has this dream of making his very first feature film. But at the same time, he's just broke up with the love of his life. He's living with his roommate that's just kind of all over the place, and he decides to actually buckle down and make a film about his life, about being a casting director, about his girlfriend breaking up with him, and about how crazy his roommate is. And that's pretty much what the movie's about. I really kind of fell in love with this film. It's really super independent film, and I really did like it, because it brought me back to the days when I made my Night Owls films. Because the first couple Night Owls movies were stuff that really did happen to me. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever saw Night Owls 2, the short film I did, where it's my friend Chris, you know, moving away, saying he's moving away, and there's like a little sad montage, and then as soon as the montage is over, Gabriel comes into the picture. That's what really happened in my life. Like, I had a really good friend in Chris, and he moved away, and you know, a little while later, Gabriel came along. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of like true to life kind of things. Like, I believe the people that made this movie, like, this is their life, you know what I mean? It's one of those kind of things. I absolutely fell in love with it. If you guys love independent feature films, definitely give this one a shot, especially if you guys are in that, you know, if you guys like that Clerks kind of vibe of filmmaking, you know what I mean? It doesn't have all that raunchiness like Kevin Smith brings in with, like, you know, all these super bad language everywhere. But Casting Me, super fun. I liked it very much. And last up here for my update today, before I get into the big old blockbuster haul, is Bronies here on Blu-ray, put out by MVD Entertainment. Bronies. If you guys know what Bronies are, they're fans, you know, super fans of the TV show My Little Pony. And you may be asking yourselves, Brendan, why do you want this? I like documentaries about fandom, about people that like going to conventions and, you know, supporting things that they love. Sort of like me in a way, you know? Like how I go to these movie conventions and different things like that. And this documentary follows around a group of people that are super crazy. That's not crazy, but like super in love with the TV show My Little Pony. And in this film, they talk about their fandom and why they like it and how it helps them through on their lives, you know, get through their days in their lives. And some of it's kind of weird and creepy a little bit, but it also shows them all going to this Brony convention. You know, all these, you know, super nerds going to this convention to like talk about the show that they love with other people that love the show. And I found it to be a very interesting documentary. I can't really hate on the people that like something, you know, that like My Little Pony or whatever, because I like weird things too that people can look at me and go, why do you like Power Rangers, Brendan? You know, because me and Gabriel have been to a Power Ranger convention a couple times, and you know what I mean, like I can't hate on people that like something that, you know, so much that they want to go to a convention for it. But some of the people in there, they're like, you know, army men, military guys that are like, hey ho, you know, and then they're going to like a Brony convention singing the theme song to the My Little Pony. Like, some of it's kind of, you know, kind of like, you know, what? You know, but at the same time, they like it, so, you know, it's all good to them, you know. But if you guys want to see a documentary about fandom and what fans do to try to get to a Brony convention or My Little Pony convention, check this one out. I thought it was kind of funny and entertaining at the same time, but that's my Bronies here on DVD. Alright, guys. Let's get down to the Blockbuster haul here. I went into Blockbuster earlier today with Jose. Jose hoarded up on some stuff. I didn't film him talking about it. I totally forgot about doing that. But I got a big old bag of stuff here to talk to you guys about. Let's change this angle up here because the light's going down, and I'll show you guys what I got. Alright, guys, let's crack into these bags here and see what I picked up at the Blockbuster going out of business sale. All the movies that are in these bags were all between $3.99 and $1.99. I believe only 3 of them were $3.99, but everything else was $1.99. So let's get up in there. I know some of them are going to be kind of questionable, but like, hey, for $1.99, it's cheaper than going to Redbox, or, you know, pretty much I don't have to worry about returning them. But one of them right here was Jeff Who Lives at Home here on Blu-ray. Never seen it. I really do like, what's his name, Jason Segel and Ed Helms, and I never seen it before, and I wanted to give it a chance, and for $1.99, what the hell, right? Let's get over here. This one right here stars Christopher Lloyd, and it's called Dead Before Dawn. And it looks kind of interesting and cool. For $1.99, gotta go for it. Alright, guys, and this next one right here is directed by Danielle Harris, starring Danielle Harris and Kane Hodder, and that is Among Friends here on DVD. I just wanted to see this film since it came out, because I want to see what her, you know, Danielle Harris's directorial debut and how, you know, how the film is, you know, because I really like Danielle. I think she's cool as shit. And just to, you know, see some of the other people that are in this film, but $1.99, gotta do it. Let's go in here. This one's a rental exclusive, and I know I could get a Blu-ray of it somewhere, but for $2, I just want to sort of see it, because I don't know if it's going to be like my favorite movie or anything, and if it is, I'll just upgrade to Blu-ray. But for $2, I got The East here on DVD. Don't really know a whole hell of a lot about it. All I know is I saw the trailer a couple months back and it looked kind of interesting. And this next one right here is a Blu-ray of a movie that looks really super interesting. And I heard a lot of good things about it when it first came out. And for $2, it's we need to talk about Kevin here on Blu-ray. Looks like it could be okay in the old Blockbuster case. You know what? I might keep some of these in the old Blockbuster cases just to remember it. You know what I mean? And over here, I'm not sure if I bought this one before. I didn't even look at my collection or anything, but I can't return it now. But for $2, I got the remake of Sorority Row here on Blu-ray. I thought this one was decent. It wasn't like amazing, but for $2, I'll watch it again. And let's see what else is in there. This one I have never seen yet, and I like Jennifer Aniston. Jason Bateman's cool, and that's The Switch on Blu-ray here. It could be okay. I have high hopes for it. Hopefully. I don't know. But that's the first bag down. Let's get to the second bag here. There's more Blu-rays in this one. This one right here was $1.99. Me and my mom were there the night before, and of course I asked my old manager that I used to work with, because I went to the Blockbuster I used to work for, and I asked him to hold some stuff for me in the back. He hold this for me until tomorrow, because they were like going down. Because yesterday everything was like $3 or $4.99. And they all went down to $1.99 or whatever. And this one was $2. And for Blu-ray, I'm like, what the hell? I want to see it, and so does my mom. And that's Side Effects here. I heard decent things about this one from a lot of you reviewers out there. And, you know, I'll give this one a shot. Looks like it's going to be okay. Next up in here, we got a haunted house over here with Marlon Wayans. I liked this one when it came out. It was one of those ones, like, every time I went to CD Trader and saw it for $8.99, I'm like, I want it, I should get it. I know it's stupid, but like I like dumb, stupid stuff sometimes, you know what I mean? Especially stuff with the Wayans name on it, you know what I mean? But that's a haunted house here on Blu-ray. Now, there's no slipcover, but it has an old Blockbuster case, but whatever. Next up over here, this one was one of the $3.99 ones, and it's a Rapture Palooza here on Blu-ray. I like Craig Robinson. He's kind of cool from you know, This Is the End and stuff, but don't really know much about it, but I'll definitely give this one a chance, because I bought it now, can't return it, yeah! And next up is another one that was $3.99, of the 3 movies that I got that were that price, is Parker, Jason Statham, and Jennifer Lopez. Heard decent things about this one, I definitely want to check it out. I do like Jennifer Lopez. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I liked her in, of course, Jersey Girl that Kevin Smith made a couple years back. And this one right here, I just got it just because one of the names that's on the box here. Like, it doesn't look like a movie I would watch, but like just one of the names on it, I'm like, I want to see it. And for $2, I'm like, what the hell? And the movie's called The Pill. It looks like a guy like handing a girl the pill so she doesn't have a baby. You know, like one of those things, like, take the pill, please. But I'm like, I just wanted to see it because it says one of the stars of it is Anna Chomsky. You guys all know her. She's a little girl that was in the movies My Girl, and she was also in Gold Diggers, The Secret of Bear Mountain. And she's here on the back cover here. I'm like, I haven't seen her in a movie in a long time. I'm like, what the hell has she been up to, you know? So that's why I got this one, The Pill, here on DVD. And I got 2 more movies in this Blockbuster bag here. That's show you guys what's in here. One of them right here, I don't even know what it is. I just sort of grabbed it because it was $2. I'm like, it could be stupid. And it's called Small Timers, here on DVD, about like bank robbers or people that, like, you know, like a heist movie, like an indie low budget heist movie. Why did I grab this? I don't know. That's what happens when you're a hoarder and you go into closing down stores. You're like, oh, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. You know? And last up over there I picked up for $2 is My Sucky Teen Romance, here on DVD. This is made by that one girl that there was a documentary made about her. I forgot her name now, like Emily Higgins or whatever. She's like 18, 17 or something when she made this film. I just want to see it because I have a documentary that was made about her a couple years ago. Alright guys, that's everything I hoarded up on over there at the Closing Down Blockbuster. I believe there's like 7 or 8 more days before they're actually shut down, but it looks like a lot of their inventory is actually getting wiped out pretty quick. I might take one last trip there. Who knows? But guys, thank you guys so much for coming by to watch my new Blu-ray DVD update and my Blockbuster haul video. Guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you guys like my videos and support my hoarding. Alright guys, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.